My photography, my year 13 photography theme was culture, fashion, colour and pattern. So for my visual mind map, I focused on different styles of clothing from the Western culture, and I wrote different pattern types. I added different patterns and different colours onto the page, and I organised them by season. And then for my mind map, I chose different photographers and artists who look at fashion, clothing, lifestyle, and patterns specifically. And I also researched different techniques and materials I could use, as well as themes in the fashion industry, and finally locations I could take my pictures at. I researched different fabrics and I chose to focus on one throughout my whole book, which was the Turkish pattern, because I'm Turkish. And then, my first artist was Kehinde Wiley, so I decided to choose him as his style of work so that I can incorporate in my own work. And this is the first picture I did, which links to Kehinde Wiley. So I took the model separately on a white background and the fabric separately, close up, and I photoshopped the model onto the background, and I changed it into an oil painting in Photoshop as well to make it look like his pictures. And then I decided to go on and take my pictures in the dark room with a projector, projecting the cloth onto my models, and I made them wear specific colours which were close to the fabric for it to look much more vibrant and stand out. Then I decided to cover the whole model in the whole fabric and change her into an oil painting. And this was done with Photoshop as well. And I took, again, the background and the foreground separately and put them together. And I added some brightness and contrast to make it to help distinguish the background with each and the foreground. And I added shadows so that it looks like she was painted with the pattern instead of actually photoshopped. So, at home during lockdown, I decided to put the patterns on clothing, and I watched different YouTube videos which helped me do this. And with, what was it called? I don't remember. But this helped change the colour of the fabric to white so it could match the white top. And then I selected around the top to make the patterns stand out a bit more and the colours to be much bolder. And I added shadows in the creases so that it looks more realistic and that it was part of the clothing. Then my second artist, which I decided to focus on for my final piece, was Cecilia Paredes, which she's a Moroccan artist, which she uses Moroccan art models and patterns and takes them in the locations in Morocco so that it could show that they're fully embraced with the culture. And she also makes them her models wear the clothing, which are the same patterns as the background, which makes it look like they're camouflaged into the photo. So my final piece was this, but I changed her style and I only added the fabric to certain areas, and I made my model not wear the same patterns as the ones above, so that I could get the Western culture and the Turkish culture like separate together, and then to show that how Turkish culture has also been westernized, and her holding a phone is also another like way of technology which goes into the culture. And yeah, that's it. That's my final piece.